My name is Rico McDaniel. Thanks for joining us. We're coming to you from an executive room right here in Atlanta, Georgia, with the leaders of the Dream Team Blueprint, which is an organization of entrepreneurs and independent business owners with Wake Up Now. Sitting here with Brandon Stringer, Kiamra Vaughn, Shaquille Wiggins, Tony Marie Lawrence, and Justin Owens. They're not only top money earners with the company, but also top leaders. And we're coming to you just to have a general discussion, open forum, so to speak, about a few questions that people have after taking a look at Wake Up Now and asking themselves whether they should get involved. So one of the first questions, and we can kind of go ahead and jump right into it, is this legitimate? People are having success all across the country with Wake Up Now, and even now all across the globe. And some people ask the question, well, is it real? And anyone, if you just want to go ahead and jump in and kind of address that question of, is this opportunity real?
I mean, I guess to answer that question, I would say, of course. I mean, it's a business. I think the thing that kind of turns people off or gets them thinking the wrong way sometimes is because it's so affordable, right? You can't start a traditional business for $99.95 or $149.95. So for people to think about it, like, well, this is very affordable, but the payoff and the reward can be great. But the reason it's legitimate because if you come in and your plan is, I just want to put in $99.95 or $149.95 and do nothing, guess what you're going to get? Nothing. So you got to put in some effort, you got to put in some work. But the key to it being legitimate is that if you actually put in the work. The thing I love about our business is that if at a job or a corporation, like 9 times out of 10, a person can't be the CEO. But what I love about it is if you do something like, Mr. Brandon Stringer, the position he's reached, if you do exactly what he's done, you're going to get the same results. You can't say that in any other corporation or any other business, hey, if you do what I did from day one, you're going to make the same amount of money. But if you come into our business, you can.
I kind of just want to add an example on that. A lot of times, if you go out to a store and you buy a product and you get something in return of value that you spent your money on, was that illegitimate? Was that a scam? Was that illegal? No, you saw value in the product, you paid for it, and you got it in return. Same thing for Wake Up Now. You pay for their product, services, and benefits. In return, you get those, you enjoy them. You share that experience, and you build a network of people who also want to save money with the products that Wake Up Now has offered.
Yeah, I'd like to add to what Brandon said as well, because people fail to realize that we're not paying just to make money. We're actually paying for the product, services, and benefits that Wake Up Now provide us. The benefits that we have are things that we're actually using every single day. The things like we get, like the grocery coupons or the discounts at the hotels or the flights and things like that. So if you're actually utilizing your benefits and actually using your membership, you're going to see the value in it. And when you see value, that's where you see the legitimacy.
Right.
And what I really love to see? A lot of people brag about the income. We were talking about the income, but I see a lot of people in my organization brag about how much money they saved using the product. If you just use the product, then you're going to see a lot of value in it. Don't get in just trying to make money. Enjoy the product because you're going to have a way better experience.
Right, I agree.
Obviously, all those are great answers, and one of the things I think I'd like to add, Wake Up Now is actually partnered with some multi-million-dollar, even a few billion-dollar corporations. I mean, these are vendors, and you have legitimate products and services that are being offered all across the world right now. So you have to ask yourself, would these companies be represented by a scam or by something that was illegitimate? And of course, the answer would be no. So I think it should really get you encouraged to be partnered with Wake Up Now because of the legitimacy of the products and services and also the opportunity that they provide. So now that we have that out of the way, a lot of people are taking a look at this and they're saying, man, it seems like a great opportunity, but I just don't have the money. Being as little as $99.95 to get started with the platinum package. If somebody had that objection right now, how would you answer that, or how would you come back and try to get them encouraged to get started if they're saying they don't have the money?
Well, I think that you not having the money is more of a reason to actually get started, because whatever you were doing prior to getting introduced to this opportunity obviously wasn't working or putting you in a desirable position. So I would encourage the person to figure out a game plan in order to get started so they can have an opportunity to put them in a better situation.
And I have something to add to that also. Sometimes you may have the money, you just have to rebudget your lifestyle to fit Wake Up Now. And that's where you have the finance tool. Remember I told you about being the product of the product? Well, if you use that finance tool, you'll be able to actually use that and budget your lifestyle. And now that $99 is going to be a part of your lifestyle, so it can get you out of that slump and get you to where you can live the lifestyle you want to live.
Also, some people don't understand that they're paying for things that they don't need right now. You don't really need cable. You might not need that expensive cell phone bill with all of those minutes or the unlimited text or whatever. And I sometimes will even tell people to go back to their bank statements the last few months and literally highlight things that you spent money on that you might not have needed. Maybe you didn't need those new pair of shoes or that new dress. And go ahead and circle and actually calculate how much money you're putting out that you don't really need to. And a lot of times people will find that extra $100.
Yeah, I'd say the last thing is like, if $99.95 is a problem or $149 is a problem, like how much longer do you want it to continue to be a problem? Like if you're not where you want to be, and this is a vehicle that you could actually use, the thing that we need to focus on is not that you don't have the money, but what can we do to help you get the money so that you can put in the work so that'll never be an issue again. And that's what we're going to help you to be able to do if you make a decision to get started.
So to conclude what we were talking about earlier with people not having the money, I mean, you just got to ask yourself, do you want to remain in that situation? Because I think if you kind of look around the table here, you're looking at people who started from very humble beginnings. People making, multiple six-figure incomes, and after a few years in the industry, I was even able to earn a seven-figure income. And the bottom line was, if I would have accepted the fact of not having the money to get started, then I still would be where I was. See, the key is most people don't get started because of fear. It's not because you don't have the money, but you fear putting in the money and looking at not being able to get a return back. But I can tell you this, you should fear staying and remaining where you are and really get excited about where you could arrive to because of this phenomenal opportunity. So for people who want to take this step and say, or they do have the money, they may say, well, I don't have the time. How would you, respond to someone who really wants to get involved, but, they have the excuse that they don't have the time?
One of my favorite stories I always use as an example is Kiambra's story. She worked as a nurse, and everyone knows as a nurse, you spend a lot of time with patients, and she was actually built a business to a six-figure income. I'll kind of let Kiambra talk more about that.
Well, yeah, I was working, full-time as a nurse, and actually I was working a lot of overtime too. Sometimes I was working 5 12-hour shifts a week. And at the time, I had a family. I had 2 small stepchildren that I was helping take care of. And I think what happens sometimes is people tend to look at our lives now and they see that, oh, we don't have a job. But they always forget where we come from. Most of us at this table had a job at one point in time when we started our businesses. So people just have to understand that they can't let that excuse hold them back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that also, Kiamra. Sometimes people don't realize what their schedule is now and what it is that they're actually doing, because we don't have time to work 40-hour a week jobs either, but we do it because we get so used to where they are right now and don't realize the time that they will actually have if they just evaluate and prioritize their schedules. Because the jobs that we have, a lot of people have right now, they don't realize that we don't have the time to work 40-hour a week jobs, take care of our kids and our homes, but we do it and we find a way to make it work. So you just have to find a way to make this work as well. And if you already have a job right now, sometimes you have to not go out, not watch too much TV, just think about what it is that you're doing and what you can evaluate to make this work for you. And at some point, you will be able to leave that full-time job and make it part-time and just have this as a second source of income. And if you work this business effectively, you can also quit your job and do this full-time. So it's about whatever it is that you want to do and what you want to make work, because we all have opportunities to make everything that we want to work, but we just have to be committed to do so.
Yeah, and I think if you get started like that, like we tell people, like just get started. Like you start somewhere. Right. Start where you are. If it's an hour a day, if it's an hour a week, whatever it is, do that. But here's what you can't expect. Like you can't expect to put in an hour a week and then have Brandon Stringer type of results. You can't say I want to put in an hour a month and have the kind of income that the people at this table have. But if you start developing yourself and start getting trained and learn throughout the process, eventually you can get to that point if that's what you want.
And I really believe that all y'all can agree with me on this. What attracted me to this opportunity, and a lot of people and a lot of my colleagues, were that we didn't have the time, but we wanted to create time. And this industry helps you create time, and that's why we do this, so you can create that time, because you don't want to spend all your life at work. Sometimes more than the money, it's about spending time with family. It's about spending time doing what you want to do. So let's create that time together by working hard and putting the time down, so on the back end we can enjoy our day, our life, and the success that you work for.
All right, and just something to add on top of that, was one of the main reasons why I actually got started, because prior to me getting involved in the industry, I was working a part-time job. I worked at Chipotle, and while I was working that job, I realized that I was only getting compensated for the time I put in. So when I looked at this industry, when I first, saw what it was, I wanted to put myself in a position where I can leverage 100 people's time rather than just my time, or 1,000 people, or however many people I had on my team. So that was one of the main reasons why I got involved, because I mean, if I got paid 100% of what I did, then that wouldn't compare to me getting 1% of what 100 people did. You know, so leveraging other people's time is one of the big reasons why I got started in the first place.
Absolutely. You know, and you really have to ask yourself, if you're watching this and you're thinking, man, I would love to take advantage of this opportunity, but I'm just busy. Well, you got to ask yourself, busy doing what? See, because when I got involved in this industry, I was busy. In fact, anybody who has anything going for them, if you have a family or if you have responsibilities, you're probably busy. You know, you have your personal life, you have, you know, your career. But if you're not getting any further ahead, you have to ask yourself, are you busy doing productive things? You know, because a lot of times people are just busy being broke. And I knew I didn't want to live my entire life just going to work week after week after week and living paycheck to paycheck. I wanted to be able to not only have a life and be able to have responsibility, but I also wanted to have a lifestyle. It's one thing to pay your bills, you know, and I think Justin said it best in one of our Blueprint for Success seminars. He said, hey, if you're going to work, and most people say, well, I go to work so I can get paid. But if you continuously go to work and you don't really have a lifestyle and you don't have money to do the things you want to do, you're not getting paid. The only thing that's getting paid are your bills. So you got to ask yourself, do you want to develop that type of lifestyle where you can not only pay your bills, but be able to maybe travel a little bit, be able to have some downtime to spend with your family, eventually get to the point where you can live the lifestyle of your dreams? Then an opportunity like Wake Up Now is a phenomenal opportunity for you to consider and to get involved with, and I would definitely suggest it. I know, Justin, you were saying earlier something about training, and I think it's critical for people to take a look at something like this, especially if they don't have much experience or really any kind of success, you know, in this industry. Why should they consider getting training right away initially after they get started?
I mean, because a lot of people don't have experience running a business. A lot of people haven't been successful at it. And so anytime you get involved in something, you want to find out the best way to be able to do it in order for you to have success. Just like if you open a McDonald's, first thing you're going to do is go to Hamburger University. Why? Not because nobody's ever made a hamburger before, but more so they have a system and a process in order the way that they do their business. Same thing that we have here. Do you have to go to our trainings in order to be successful? No, but what I can tell you is that you'll get there a lot faster, and you're going to have a process and a system in order for your business to continue to grow. Because one of the things we talk about in our trainings is that if you have a business or something that's working for you and you're dependent upon or it depends upon you to be there in order for it to work, you don't have a business, you have a high paying job. See, what we have the system is for, so you can do something that's duplicatable, and then as you start going around the world, traveling, spending time with your family, your income doesn't die because it's not dependent upon you. It's dependent upon the system and everything that we put together as a team.
And in addition to what you were just saying, Justin, I mean, when you think about training, if you want to be successful at anything, I mean, professionals train more than they play, right? You know, if you look at a comparison between like an amateur baseball player and a professional baseball player, amateur baseball players make $20,000 a year. Professional baseball players make $20,000 per game. You know, you have amateur entertainers that will go out and entertain or perform for free just to get exposure. But professional entertainers, they make millions of dollars per performance or per concert. And the reason why that happens is because they train more so than just play. You know, and the thing that I love about it, professionals, when you look at professional athletics, or even when you look at corporate America, even entrepreneurs, they have coaches. They have coaches, they have mentors that have become successful in what they're doing to show them how to become successful as well, pulling that potential out of them. You know, so I think it's very critical to hook up with people people who are sitting at this table to be able to get that mentorship and the coaching you need to succeed in an opportunity. That kind of leads me to the next question. People ask me all the time, you know, in the industry when they're looking at different things, does it matter who you get started with? I mean, if you're starting your business with Wake Up Now, does it matter who you enroll with? And, you know, if a few of you maybe can kind of answer that question and get your perspectives on it.
Yeah, I would answer that real quick. And the answer, of course, is yes. I mean, anybody with common sense will understand that, hey, if you have somebody that's getting results that can help you get to where you want to be, of course you want to work with them. The thing that's special about our group and the system that we put together is that we've made it to where if you're working with somebody that's a part of the Dream Team Blueprint, you're going to have access to all the information all the time. You're going to have access to the trainings. You're going to have access to somebody like Mr. McDaniel that was a millionaire by the age of 25, or Brandon Stringer, or Mr. Shaquille Wiggins, or Tony, or Kiamber, and a lot of other leaders that are developing. And you'll know if you're working with somebody that's a part of our team. Why? Because as soon as you get started today, as soon as you make that decision, they're going to say, hey, look, first thing we need to do is get started with our 24-hour checklist. Next thing you need to do is our massive action plan. Guess what? If you're working with any of us at this table, that's the same thing you're going to hear from us. Why? Because we have a system. And so, yes, it is important who you get started with, but I think even more important than that is the team that you get started with. Because if you have a powerful team, even if you're not the best player on that team, if you're a part of it, you'll still be successful.
I definitely think it matters who you sign up with, because a lot of times when people are presented this opportunity, they feel like maybe that they need to sign up with their friend or their family member or the first person who signed them up, or they don't want to sign up with that person, but they want to go sign up with the person who have the most results because they think they're going to get the most help. But in actuality, none of those things actually matter. It matters that you sign up with someone who has a system, who has something implemented, because at that point, like Justin was saying, we have a system in place. So if that person isn't available, you're going to have a system to refer back to. You're going to have people that have had success that's going to be able to help you along the way, no matter if that person who signed you up is available or not. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. It's about having access to all of the information and all of the training, and who's going to provide that for you.
So taking a look at opportunity, let's say if someone says it is legitimate. They believe they got the time. They believe they have the money. They're into the training, but they say, hey, wait a minute. I want to get my 3 people first. Of course, that being a component of the compensation plan, they could put them in, a very positive position. But why would you tell someone don't wait until you go out and attempt to get your 3 people first before you get involved with the company?
Well, one of the things is if you wait until you get your 3 people first, when they're ready to sign up or they're ready to launch their business, you haven't even launched yours yet. So you can even say, what if they want to duplicate what you're doing? You're waiting until you get your 3, and then those 3 are waiting until they get their 3. Who's going to be the first person to go ahead and launch their business? It doesn't even make any sense, really.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
And I think it also refers back to the training as well, because you can't go out and try to recruit someone or tell someone all about this business when you don't know everything about the business. So you want to make sure that you're equipped with all of the knowledge and that you're trained so you can go out and recruit the person the right way. And then, of course, we also have a system where we'll be able to help you if you're on our team to get that person to sign up in your business. So it's very important that you educate yourself first so you're not rubbing someone off the wrong way, or you're not presenting the information incorrectly, and then they're not going to want to join your business because it seems like you don't know what you're doing or doing what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, to answer the question, like it almost doesn't make sense to do it that way because you don't know what you're doing, right? It's like, and then people come back and say, oh, well, this I don't know. Nobody wants to sign up. Nobody wants to do anything, right? But it's like, no, it works. You just don't know what you're doing, right? And so if you learn what to do and we show you how to do it, that's going to give you a lot more results and a lot faster instead of you messing up people and then coming back and say, okay, well, now let me learn what I need to be doing. You could take so much time off of your learning curve and get into income first, and then we can, then you can kind of move on to the next step. But so at the end of the day, I would just say, look, come in, and one of the 4 steps to success that we teach people is you got to be coachable. And so somebody that's coming in doing something opposite of the system is going to be really hard for you to get success anyway. Because, one, you're not going to have the support of the people that need to be helping you to get to where you want to be. Because I know if we're working with somebody on our team, they say, well, look, before I sign up, let me go talk to some people and then say, hey, well, can you talk to them for me? The answer's going to be no, because you're not in the business. Like, we have so many people in our organization that we have to find the right people to work with. Well, if we're trying to figure out the right people to work with in our organizations, we definitely can't spend time and take it away from people that are in the business for people that aren't in the business. So not only are you putting yourself at a disadvantage, but you're putting your team and the people that you're bringing in at a disadvantage because they're all going to be coming in learning the wrong things from day one. And so it's a lot easier to do things right than to correct bad habits. And so that's why we're putting stuff together so people can learn how to do it from day one the correct way.
All right. And now that kind of, just to add to that, like that, you got to think about what the point of this opportunity is at the end of the day. Though it is a lot of income potential, and there is a business opportunity, it's not just about the business. We're in the business of sharing our experience. So you actually have to have the experience in order to share it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get it kind of misconstrued and start to think that, I can just get in this thing, tell a lot of people and make money. But you have to actually have an experience to share. So that's really important. So you got to be a customer. That's all we all are. Even though we, look at the income potential and take advantage of it. We're all just customers who share our experience. So that's really something to think about.
So to conclude the conversation, I just wanted to get you guys to take an opportunity to address anybody who's watching this video and still on the fence about getting started. What would you say to encourage them after seeing this video to get started today?
Don't be a product of your circumstances. Don't be a product of your circumstances. Be a product of your decisions. Make the decision that's going to be best for you and your family. Know your why. Remember, we all come from humble beginnings.
At the end of the day, you have to take a step back and think about where you are now. Like, I'm 24 years old, so if I wouldn't have taken this step, I would have had to take a step back and think, okay, I'm 24 years old. It's taken me this amount of time to get to this financial situation I'm at now. How much longer do I want to deal with these situations? So if you're ready for a change, you've prayed for it, done whatever, talked about it to your friends. In order for you to have a change in your financial situation, you have to change your situation yourself. So stop doing the things that you've been doing. Take that leap of faith and go ahead and get started.
Yeah, then I like to tell people at the end of the day, this is an opportunity that, don't cost an arm and a leg to get started. So, if you're on the fence and you actually see value with this opportunity, then paying $99.95 or $149.95 is a small deal, considering that you can save well over that amount just utilizing the benefits and being a product of the product. So, at the end of the day, it's a no-brainer. You save more money than you spend, and then you got an opportunity on top of that. I say that's definitely a great opportunity to take advantage of.
And at the end of the day, if you're on the fence, right? Because if you're already ready to get going, this part isn't for you, right? But if you're on the fence, I would say figure out why. Most of the people are normally on the fence because of a financial situation, right? Like they're like, well, I don't know because I don't have enough money or whatever. Well, again, like I was saying earlier, you got to just figure out how to address the issue. Like there's a lot of people out here that's doing things from a financial standpoint. Like I remember being out with Mr. McDaniel sometimes. I look at those watches and stuff. Like, man, that watch is expensive. Like, no, the watch is not expensive. The problem is you don't make enough money for the watch. And so the business isn't expensive. The program isn't too much. It's just your financial situation isn't where you want it to be. So let's kind of address that. But whatever it is, like if you don't like where you are, make the choice to say, you know what, wherever I am, next year this time, I'm not going to be there. The year after that, I'm not going to be there. Because the question people ask themselves, like, man, well, what if I get started and it don't work out the way I want it to or whatever? But, shoot, if it does, you're going to be in a great situation. And not only you, your family and other people that could potentially benefit from the business can be too. Because you think about everybody at this table. We all got approached to the business individually at a different point. What if they said, you know what, I don't want to do the business. They kept going about their life. They probably still be living till they have a good life, but think about all the people's lives that wouldn't have changed based on their decision, right? And so sometimes we got to get ourselves out of the way and think about not only what it can do for our family and for ourselves, but other people that need to hear your story. I'm telling you, there's somebody out there that needs to hear your story. They need to hear what you've gone through so it can help them get to the next level also.
That's a good one, Justin. Another thing that I would add on to that is that ask yourself this question. What do you want out of your life? What do you want in the next 5 years? Is what you're doing right now going to get you there? If not, then you need to change. For me, I wanted to spend more time with my daughter because I have a 7-year-old daughter. And work in corporate world, I was never at home with her. But now, since joining this opportunity, I now have the ability to go to lunch with her at school if I want. Volunteer anytime that I want. I've been to every field trip, every field day because of this opportunity. Yes, I travel with Wake Up Now. Yes, I do a lot of things with my team and even come all over the world for training. So you may see that we may still have a busy life. But even though we're doing all of those things, we can bring our kids if we have them with us if we choose to. We can take off whenever we want because we choose to, and we have the flexibility to do that. And then everything that we want or desire to have in our life, at some point, we will be able to do it because of opportunities like this. So ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now going to get me to what I want to have? And if what you're doing right now is going to give you the time to spend with your family, to spend with your kids, to spend with your friends, and travel the world and do simple things, just like going out to eat with your family that you can't do because your job schedule won't allow you, or you can't take a weekend trip to your hometown for Thanksgiving or for Christmas because you don't have the lead time and you don't have enough time to take off, so you're not going to get paid, so your bills won't get paid. All those disadvantages are going to be overcome when you join something like this and when you take advantage of this opportunity that's presented to you. So take back the power of your life, take back your financial situation and own it. Own your life, own yourself, own your income, and take control of everything that you can do for yourself.
So there you have it. I mean, at the end of the day, like she said, you got to think about where you are right now in your life and what do you want. Because at the end of the day, I have around the table with me right now the leaders of the Dream Team, and you have an opportunity to join us. You have an opportunity to go from where you are now to really where you want to go. And also, we're going to help you with that blueprint for success to help you gain that success in every area of your life. The bottom line is this. I was always taught by one of my mentors long ago is one decision you make could drastically affect the rest of your life. And hopefully you'll make the decision after watching this video and getting back with the person who got you to this video, make that decision that can change the rest of your life. And I would like to welcome you too, after making that decision, the first day of the rest of your life. God bless and we'll see you soon.